Jeremy, tell me a little bit about the history of Rolling Plains Adventures.
It originated in the year 2000. It's something I basically, when I was little, I've always wanted to, be a pheasant or a hunting guide in general. And I grew up, hunting my whole life and everything. I never thought it'd be a reality. And then me and my dad had been talking a little bit and tossing it around, and we decided to put an ad in the Minneapolis paper back in 2000. And from that, we got two hunters, I believe, that came to the ranch. And, it was a nice deal when they came out. They were very polite, everything. So we decided the following year we'll add lodging. So we had 3 guest houses on the place, 2 hired hand houses on the place that were just used for storage, more or less. And I cleaned one of them out, and so we added lodging the following year, and then that went well. And then the year after, we added another lodge. Then we started remodeling them and making it nicer, and until eventually we've remodeled this Grand Lodge and opened it to a way larger scale.
And we're just going to take a sidetrack. This Grand Lodge is actually, tell me a little bit about the history of the Grand Lodge.
This Grand Lodge is a Sears and Roebuck house. My great-grandparents lived in here. It's about 100 years old. It's been, remodeled probably a couple of times since the early 1900s. There's actually some of the existing staircases from the original, everything underneath this floor right now, but me and my brother, it took about 1.5 years to finish it out what it looks like right now, and it's been a real struggle. But we wanted to keep the history of the ranch within this building. Otherwise, what do you have if you just have a brand new building? I mean, more work, more costly, but in the long run, it actually is going to pay off.
Okay, let me just check our sound level here. So you mentioned that you were marketing with the newspaper ads. What else have you done to market in the Rolling Plains Adventure in general?
Well, since that, in 2000, we started with the newspaper. We did some, smaller scale, magazines, emails, different things like that we accumulated. But then stronger than that, once the website was up and running, it seemed like, when search strings found it, then we started getting people we never knew would contact us in the early 2000s, and from there then it just started getting bigger and bigger, and eventually I started changing the website more, making it more appealing, trying to keep it up with other websites, looking at my competition, trying to do what they're doing on the top of the search strings, and that kept us there. And because web optimization is definitely key today, more so than just having a nice website. It's if people aren't finding you, what's a nice website? So on that side, we do we do a lot with Google Analytics, Google AdWords. We do blogs. Social media is huge with Facebook, Twitter, all that. I mean, you name it, we're almost in it. Google Plus. There's so much out there today that I can't even think of them all right now.
Do you run any YouTube channels?
We have a YouTube channel. We try to keep current videos on there. That's huge. I mean, video is a real good marketing tool. We have made our own promo video that we've edited and put it up there as well. And it seems like with that, you don't have, when people call you, that's almost like a selling point, is being able to watch something that they, you don't have to persuade them.
How'd you learn all these words that you're bringing out, search, analytics and search engine optimization? Where was your education?
Well, I mean, YouTube and Google are good good useful tools. You can basically find anything you need to do on Google. Just search what you're looking to do, and there's tutorials, all sorts of things on what to get. But I've talked to so many web designers, a lot of other people giving me helpful tips, but otherwise I've learned everything on my own through trial and error. And it is a very time-based procedure to learn to do web design. It is.
Who handles all of the work for all of these social media tools in your website?
Well, right now, I can't say I'm 100% in charge of all of it because you got to have some time for yourself. Otherwise, you just be constantly putting on there. My brother, he does most of the social as far as Facebook and Twitter, but I do the blog and the website and AdWords and all the different things. We also we have a newsletter, and that company we use is MailChimp. That's an excellent company to use. Great place if you do have clients to get a newsletter out there. That's probably one of the biggest marketing tools we have for people that have come here in the past.
Okay. How did you find these companies?
Once again, it's a lot of searching, a lot of reading, learning, basically.
Okay. Are they, I'll ask, local North Dakota companies, or are you, all over?
Basically, I'm all over. I learn more by talking to people that aren't from here than from here because it seems like there's more stuff out there than just what's in North Dakota, and they're bigger companies.
Okay, you mentioned a number of tools. Was there a progression? Did you start with a website? What was sort of that progression of the tools as you added them on, or did you just sort of dive in and start everything at once?
Correct. Well, I mean, our newspaper was the first thing we've ever done. Then it was the website, and then from then on, I did pay at one time to get the website optimized. That helped me along to learn quite a bit because I was dealing hand in hand with the company at the time. So I learned a lot of techniques to keep doing it on my own. And now I just build from everything I've learned every year and just keep building that website, because website is key. And your photos on there, the crisper, the cleaner, the more you show, the more information you have without leading them astray and getting them bored so they click out of your website. Those are key.
So what you're telling me is that the number one tool you would recommend for a business owner is a website first.
If you don't have a website, you're not going to get found.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
And not only just a website, but an optimized website, it sounds like?
Yeah, I mean, you do need to have time and history into the website for search strings. There's so many negatives to a brand new website for, any search strings to pick you up. So, I mean, if you have those things, definitely read about website optimization, your keywords, all sorts of different things, your key description. Just getting people to want to click on your website, is key. Beyond just having a really nice website.
Okay. How often, moving to your blog, how often do you post on how often would you like to post, and how often do you get posted?
I'd like to post there at least every other day, and I'm lucky sometimes during the busy season, I'm lucky if I get it once a week, but on average, about twice a week.
Okay. You post a lot of pictures between you and your brother.
Correct.
Is it a habit now to carry cameras with you, or?
Well, now everybody's got smartphones, so it makes it so easy. We could actually do a video clip of rounding up the cattle today and have it on YouTube in 5 minutes. So with that, it's the biggest marketing tool is these smartphones, because he's taking pictures, I'm taking pictures, we're both going through that, and then everybody's finding us and staying in contact with Rolling Plains Adventures, and it makes it a lot of fun for our guests and fun for us too.
So do you encourage guests to get involved with adding stuff or bringing stuff to you to offer on the website or on Facebook or something?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not only do we have testimonials of our guests, but we also have comments, feedbacks, all sorts of different things. And that only benefits you because it sees other people are, wanting to be part of your business as well. So it makes you more legitimate.
I noticed just recently that I literally think it was that morning you were having a cattle drive just within the last week or so of Norwegian Norwegians who were over here, and I mean, there it was by the afternoon you had a video up and and some pictures, so yep. Good for you. I approve.
Thank you.
Approve of that. And I also mentioned watching you build tables. That I saw on the Facebook recently and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, everything doesn't have to be business about your page. That's probably the worst thing you can do. is try to sell them all the time. You got to make it fun. You got to make it entertaining, or they're not going to follow you.
Where'd you get that message?
The North Dakota Tourism is a very big promoter of that. You know, they've given us a lot of helpful hints on that, but we've also learned a lot of what are people are looking at by what you post, how they comment, and different things like that.
That is key. I mean, we think it's key anyway, that you do have this, be fun and not just business,
Exactly.
business. And I really have to say, from looking at your stuff, I think you're achieving a pretty good balance. So,
thank you.
So do you continue to manage your presence now?
Absolutely. I'm on there all the time. I'm looking at Google Analytics, seeing how many visitors we're getting every day. If we do have, let's say recently, a week or two ago, we had on the local news, they did a 2.5-minute story about Rolling Plains, and just from that story alone, the website received probably 150% more hits the next 2 days from just things like that. Okay. So it's interesting to see those.
You mentioned that your brother does the social media, Facebook and Twitter, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do the two of you talk about blending these two things together, or are you each sort of just out on your own doing your own thing?
Well, we kind of, it's not so much sign language, but we just think we know what the other one's always doing or thinking. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But, you know, I do post a lot, but he definitely posts way more. He's commenting on there and whatnot. And that kind of lets me do more of the other things, because, you know, if somebody's in charge of something, it's just one less thing the other person has to do. But, you know, in turn, it all works out, because if somebody hasn't posted, well, then we're thinking, well, we better put something up there to keep people interested for that day.
Now, I'm going to go to a question off a recent Facebook post. And, you know, we'll edit the video and stuff, but you had a picture of a dead animal down by one of your stock ponds, or I don't know what it was by. Well, were you skittish about doing that?
Well, you know,
or did your brother do that
things
one?
My brother did, and you know, I wasn't aware it was going to happen at the time, and I've actually heard a little bit of feedback about that from a couple of people. You know, good and bad. You know, it's just like, you know, the Lion King movie, The Circle of Life. Everybody knows. It's one of those things, you know, on a picture, if you approve or not, it's a fact of life. And, you know, on the ranch here, we are a working cattle ranch. So, I mean, our guests, they will have, I mean, those things do happen. We're basically trying to say we're not hiding anything.
Okay. Now, how do you handle if there would have been negative comments, or somebody comes and doesn't have a good experience and they post it on the web? What's your policy or what practice?
Well, the best thing with negative feedback is to have a response instantly on that, so other people can instantly see that you are concerned with, you know, their feelings, because it is a big feelings thing, the internet. You know, it's you just got to make sure you handle it in a timely manner, otherwise they think you're not caring.
Do you go out and check some of the sites that people can go to, like TripAdvisor, or do you check what your online reputation is?
Yeah, I've searched everything. I haven't found one negative plug about us yet, knock on wood, but you know, because there are people. One downfall of the internet is if people do get jealous in an aspect, like say your competition, I've seen this with other businesses, they will, you know, try to make your business look bad by, you know, doing those things. And, you know, it's sad to say this happens, but I have seen it.
Do you use any tools that will bring up your name if something is said negatively about that, like Google Alerts or anything?
As of right now, all the social media and everything we have on there, I mean, we would see it first. But I mean, anybody can write their own blog, and with Google, I mean, you search our name, if it's in that blog,
okay,
you will find it.
Well, my colleagues will laugh at this one again, because I sometimes there is under Google Alerts, and so anytime your name comes up or any version of it,
okay,
on a daily basis, it will feed you what's being said about the ranch.
Okay.
So if you miss something, because you know, Twitter is such a stream,
yeah,
or Facebook, or
yep,
even just on Google, you may pick up some things that you don't that you would miss otherwise. So
Oh, sure. Yeah, no,
and
that'd be
it's
a great
free.
tool.
Google Alerts. So, what's been your greatest success story as you think back on? We're talking now about this online marketing and stuff. What's been your greatest success story?
Well, I mean, recently we started this newsletter. This is just a recently success story. You know, we ended up, my wife actually put together a huge database of all our past clients within the last 12 years. And we made a whole newsletter, and basically we didn't try to sell them on anything within this newsletter. We told them what's going on, different aspects to the ranch, how we've changed it, some of the media we've been in recently, some of the awards we've won, different things like that. And just by having that sent out, basically my email, my phone, everything has been blown up completely with 100% positive feedback. Everybody wants to be part of what we're doing now and book their next trip. And that, you know, that's kind of nice to see what, you know, how you can make an impact just by the click of one button after you build it.
Do you have people who return on a regular basis?
We've actually had guests that have returned every year since 12 years ago.
Okay. And what do you do to encourage them to tell others?
You know, their experience is the number one key. You know, we try to everybody have their you know, positive experience while they're here. You know, the best thing other than you know, media or you know, a website or any of that is word of mouth from somebody they know.
Besides the newsletter, anything else performed beyond expectations?
Actually, you know, with the website, once I had, I guess, changed the look of the website, we got a lot of real good feedback on that. As far as, I mean, optimization, that has also, you know, helped us increase our, you know, views to the website. But as far as closing, as far as booking guests and everything, the newsletter has done that hands down. But I'm sure there's other things I'm missing right now because we've done so much. Facebook by far has really, I mean, we're starting, it's just crazy. The more we're doing, the more fans we're getting by not even pushing it. Everybody's passing on our page, suggesting us everything, and it's really been a helpful tool.
Well, since we went that way, the positive, has there been something that hasn't performed as well as you would have liked, or that you're continuing to tinker on?
And that's when, if you do go with a company that promises you all those things, be very leery of what they're promising, because 9 out of 10 times you'll be disappointed in the end. And I've done that twice, and that's all trial and error since the beginning. You know, like the web optimization. You know, anybody can do that with a few helpful tools and know-how. I mean, yes, it's, you know, a lot of technique, but when they'll ask for a lot of money to do this, and you can do it for relatively cheap by just learning these traits yourself. The other aspect is, you know, a lot of people trying to, you know, build your website and whatnot, and that is tough programs to learn in the beginning. But once again, once you do it, you won't have to pay them again. You can change your content, keywords, description, pictures, you know, in the matter of a minute, rather than contacting them, paying them X amount of dollars an hour, different things like that. And it seems like the number one thing I'm getting a lot of now, once you are out on the internet a lot, you get so many calls from, well, just one company in general is Google, and they're all, it's not Google in general, it's all these small companies that are selling advertising for them, basically to get up in their sponsored link page, or you know, it's basically AdWords, which is your side tabs. You pay per click, and everybody's one-time setup fee and X amount of dollars a month, and they will get you there. Everybody's doing that right now, and there are strategies where you can do that yourself too and just be up at the top page.
Okay, so there really hasn't been, I don't hear you say that there's been any issues really with the online presence or the social media. It's these companies that have been the disappointment.
Yeah, it's the companies that are trying to make a lot for doing a little. And I mean, if you don't know a lot about web and different things, it all sounds good because they say a lot of words that don't even sound English, and you take their word for it.
So how would you, for the person who doesn't have your background and your experience, and all these companies are approaching them, how do you sort them out? What tips could you give to another business owner?
My best tip would be, if you're just starting out, just listen to what they have to say. Especially if a company is trying to sell you something, they will always give you free pointers in the beginning because they're trying to know, they're trying to show you how much they know. Take that, don't close it right then. Just say you got to think about it, which they'll continue to call you, and search Google, see what else is out there, see what you can do for it yourself, because YouTube is a huge key in learning. Okay. Just watch the editorials.
Do you have any sense of what your online presence has meant to your growth, or your growth in sales, or growth in the number of guests, or have you measured that at all?
I don't know how easy it would be to measure it at this point, because so many of our guests come from past clients' word of mouth, and it's hard to justify. We also have, some other companies working for us as well, going to sports shows, some tour operators, just different things like that. So, you got to pay attention to Google Analytics to see where people are coming from. If somebody else is hosting your web name, you'll see that it's getting linked there. I mean, having backlinkage is great.
Okay, and where are some of the good backlinkages that you're finding?
Well, make sure it's in an industry that is similar as yours. A government agency is huge as far as your website is.
Okay. If you had to do it all over again, what would you do differently?
If I had to do it all over again, I think in college I would have taken more internet-based classes, so I didn't have to learn so much on my own. Different things like that, but I mean, we are very competitive in social media and the internet that, I think we have a good handle and control on what we're doing.
What was your background in college?
I went into animal science with minors in econ and business, so I mean, it's not a whole lot of web in there.
Okay, and as quickly as the web was coming around, I mean, that's just been a new thing for all of us and stuff. What changes have you made in your online marketing since you started, or has it sort of been a continuous?
Yeah, I mean, the page layout, we've changed our website 3 different times, I think, in the past 10 years. You got to keep a current website or it looks dated. If it looks like right now, I mean, we can look at our competition, and right now we're definitely, in the higher percentage of websites that are out there. You don't want it so advanced that people are discouraged to look at it, because not every generation is capable of following the information you're putting on there. So that is a key point. But
what changes would you like to make?
Right now we'd like to get more video out on our website. That all takes time, putting the clips together, editing it, things like that. Better photos, higher quality photos.
Well, you told me about something you were planning on anyway.
Yeah. I mean, make your website fun.
What's that you're planning on?
That's undisclosed.
Oh, okay. Right, that's a secret. Okay, understand. What 2 or 3 tips would you offer to other business owners about starting and or expanding their online presence?
If they don't have a Facebook page, get one, and right away. That would be my first choice, because that's free. And if you do have if you do have a website and it's not a very good one, just make it up to date. It doesn't have to be much. I mean, even one page that looks up to date is better than, a 10-page old one. And my third one would definitely be to start a blog or a YouTube channel.
Okay. Anything else you want to add? Like I said, it's a short list.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of information out there. There's so many helpful hints, tools around. They may sound overwhelming when you first start getting in there. They were for me. Trial and error is key. You'll probably want to throw your computer out the window a few times, but in the all end, you'll be very satisfied by what you're able to do.
Did you take, sometimes there's classes offered, 1 day, 2 day classes. Did you take advantage of any of those?
I actually looked into taking them, but the timeline to get into them was too far away, so I ended up learning the program on my own before, which was Photoshop. I really wanted to learn more tools on editing photos and different things, but I learned it on my own, so I didn't need it anymore.
Okay.